guys, since it's Halloween, I wanted to post a video up of how to make a glow-in-the-dark ghost. They're super fun and they're really easy to make with your friends or with your kids. I love the fact that they glow in the dark because it's just like a neat little keepsake. They, you know, if you have a little kiddo, you can put it by their bed and they can see it glow at night. Or even if you're like me and you just love anything glow in the dark, then you can just play with it whenever you want to. So the things that you will need will be glow-in-the-dark Sculpey. You can get this at any craft store. It's the same price as all the other Sculpeys. It's really nice too because it doesn't dry out that easily. You'll also need some black clay, just a little bit of black clay, not a lot. And then you will also need a pin, just a standard pin. I use pins a lot for making faces and eyes and just different kinds of textures. So that's all you need. And then after that, it's just straight up baking. So let's get into making our ghost. So I'm gonna move everything out of the way. Clean slate. I feel like Vanna White, we're just like whoosh, cleaning it out. So you just need a little bit of clay. You wanna make sure your hands are clean. So I just have this little ball, not that big. I'm just gonna roll it in my hands. So you wanna roll it just a little bit here. You wanna make sure you get everything smoothed out. And since it's a lighter color clay, that's why you wanna make sure you have clean hands because you don't want like dirt specks in there. And I think that's kind of key, especially when you're working with white or translucent, you want really clean hands. So what I'm doing here is I took my ball and I'm just making a little ghost tail. It's so easy and it's really awesome just because, I don't know, there's not much to it, which makes it even better for kids, I think, is that they can make a lot of them and feel like they accomplished some good stuff. So I'm making my little ghost tail, which you can see here, and here's the head, and I'm pushing down a little bit so that I can kind of get a base so you can get that standing effect. So this is what it looks like on its side, and you can see it's a little bit flattened so that he can stand up, because I think it's cool when they look at you. So the next step here is we have our shape. If you see any fingerprints on there, just lightly smooth them out. The more you work with the clay, the more you'll learn that you just have to be kind of delicate with it. You don't want to do like Hulk smash on your clay when you're holding it. You'll just get used to not pinching it completely. So there's our vase. Okay, so here's the pin again that I like to use. It's just a tiny little pin that you can get in any sewing department. If you're working with kids and you're a little bit concerned with giving them a pen because it's sharp, then you could also do this with a toothpick. Not a big difference there. So with this step, I like to make the eyes. I like my eyes to be sunken in. That's just the style that I prefer because I feel like I can get a lot more emotion out of it. So and just push it in. If you want your ghost to have like big popping eyes, you can use like a pin with like a bigger head at the top, or you can just kind of poke around and just add a little bit. Not too shady. So then I'm just going to add the face. I want my ghost to be happy because I want him to be friendly and sweet to me and not haunt me in the bad way. So I'm just making a little face and you're like, oh man, that looks kind of like chunky. I don't like that. Just use your fingers to smooth it out. You know, it doesn't take a lot, and you can just kind of go over it until you like the face. Sometimes if I have a smiley face and I'm like, I don't really like that smile, then I'll just make him like extra happy by moving it around and pushing it down. So then he's just kind of like, yeah, yeah. And if you mess up your eyes a little bit, so you can see right here that his eye has gotten a little smushed, then you can just poke it right back into the right spot. Okay, so after this, you have the base shape for your ghost. You want to wipe your hands clean in case you got any materials on there, which what I like to call these are craft wipes, but they're actually baby wipes, but I just feel way cooler saying craft wipes. So you always keep these handy. They really take the clay off your hands, because if you try and use water, it won't come off as easily. That's just kind of the way that the clay is designed, you always kind of want to use either hand sanitizer or baby wipe. And then you just move on to your black clay. You really don't need that much black clay, which is super exciting. I love it when you just need to tear off a tiny little baby bit. So just pinch a little black clay off and then roll it lightly between your fingers to make an eye. Okay, and then pinch another little piece off and roll it between your fingers to make another eye. And let's move our ghost out of the way just for 1 second. You just want to see that your eyes are kind of equal size, and that's pretty good. If they're a little far off, then I don't know, I would try it again, but usually it's pretty good. So let's move our ghost back, and then I'm gonna take my eyes, and sometimes I use my pen to put the eyes back into place, but in this case, they're big enough that I can use my finger. So you just tap your little eye in there in the little holes that you made. And if you're doing this with a kid, and you're doing the toothpick version, so you might not get those deep holes. See, look, I'm like having a hard time picking it up. So let me show you the second technique. So if I'm having a hard time picking it up, like just now, then I use the end of my pen and I use that as like my little grabber. And then I'll put the eye in there. And sometimes I'll use 2 pens if I'm having a hard time, but there are his little eyes. Yeah, so back to if you're doing it with a kid and you're using toothpicks, then you can just have, instead of like the sunken in part, because you're not going to have this end, you can just have them mark dots to where their holes are going to be, so that when they place their little dots, they kind of have something to aim for, and it'll help them kind of build out the face. Or even if you're an adult and you're like, I don't know, then you can try that technique too. It doesn't really matter. So this little guy will go in the oven at 275 for this type of clay, and I would probably bake him for around 12 minutes or to 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, or if you have any hot tips that maybe I skipped over, please leave a comment and be on the lookout for more videos. And if you are interested in checking out our work, we do dioramas all the time on our site. Check us out at cuddlesandrage.com or follow us everywhere at Cuddles and Rage. All right, guys, have a great Halloween and be on the lookout for more videos.